Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to make this a really quick video, so stick with us. But we've got some more information coming out around FS25 from Giants, and it's another blog. We've been getting these pretty much every week on a schedule. So Thursdays, we've been getting a blog about something, and then on Fridays, we've been getting the fact sheet. So yeah, pretty much again, it's the same this week. So we're going to go through this. This one's about a crop. Again, we've had spinach, we've had peas, and now we've got the green beans. So even though it wasn't officially confirmed by Giants, it's now kind of confirmed. So it was not the best kept secret, as people have been saying. But I'm glad to see it. And Oxbow are one of the biggest partners, or it seems like, going into FS25. They've made a focus on Oxbow and used a lot of their equipment for a lot of the new crops, peas, spinach, and now for green beans. So I'm looking forward to trying them all out. Hopefully we'll get some mods along the way, because they are hefty pieces of kit. But, there is smaller options to go out there with, so we'll see some mods coming. And maybe there is other options as well. Maybe it isn't just this single Oxbow kind of setup. Maybe we've got something else in FS25. But as always, we're going to go through the blog. We'll have a look at some of the pictures. And then I'm also going to actually have a look quickly at the Oxbow's actual website, because on there's some really useful information of maybe what we're going to see that we've not already seen as of yet or been confirmed. So we'll just give you an idea. They do a lot of stuff, Oxbow does, so big shout out to them. Yeah, so they're a pretty decent company to bring in. We've already seen them anyway. We had that DLC in FS22, which added quite a bit of stuff as well. So let's read through the preview then around green beans. So green beans are young, unripe fruits that are delicious and nutritious just the way they are. The pods, the seeds, everything is edible. Steamed, boiled, fried, baked, roasted, or raw in a salad. Now, I don't eat rabbit food like that, so I'm not a big fan of raw green beans. Now, don't get me wrong, I like green beans on a Sunday roast, covered in gravy, bit of mint sauce maybe, depending on what meat's on the plate. But I don't mind them. I'm not a massive fan of sprouts, but I like there are a variety of vegetables. I will say that I just don't really like sprouts. So I'm a fan of green beans, but not like that. I'm not going to just eat them raw. That's just not me. But anyway, each to their own. So you can throw them in a soup, roll them up and bake. Now that's something they probably do, or add them to your favorite fried rice recipe. Because green beans are awesome, we've added them into FS25. Starting November 12th, you can plant and harvest them on your virtual field. So take a look. So pretty much straightforward. Now all it's going to go through is the thing we can read, the information we're going to read from this picture, as you can see, and then it's just going to go again, carry on about how much it costs, the growth stages and cycle of it, and then pretty much at the end we go through the equipment and everything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to bring up the actual pictures, and we're going to talk like that, because we're not going to miss anything out on the blog. I've read through it already, and it is just stating about growth stages and the kind of information that we're going to see in that first picture. So if I just bring up the pictures now, we can go through it like that one by one. So green beans, you can see all the growth stages here. First, we'll start up with the information that's been provided. I do like the background as well that we're getting there. You can see it's kind of like sunflower farm, something along them lines that we're going to see on Riverbend Spring. But yeah, maximum yield per hectare, 13,000, pretty much 14,000 litres. Get a less selling price than peas, but I think it's because we're obviously getting less of it. They do tend to always average out. They definitely do, but that's on easy difficulty. 280 litres per hectare of seeds. Growth stage is 4 months, pretty much normal, April to June. So not as early as the March that we did the peas in. And then harvest time is August to November. So you've got a massive area there to actually harvest from August to November. Now, looking at green beans, it does look a lot similar to peas. It must be kind of in the same family or something of plants, because you can see that this flowering stage just looked the same as the peas when they flowered before we went to harvest. But they just look a little bit taller as a crop, maybe more leafy. But I like the look of them. I mean, the withered thing's a bit of a strange one for me. I mean, not many people... The only time I ever see withered crop is when the map's kind of in control of fields you don't own, and then it just kind of cycles through in FS22 and 19. You just, for some reason, you always see a withered field. Now, I don't think that should be. I honestly don't think the game should be like that. I'd hope that Giants see sense at that point and just think, most farmers in a field, even if you don't own them, they're going to harvest the crops. So just, put some coding in that just skips past the wither stage and always go to harvest, harvest it, because it's never going to... What farmer plants a crop to make it go withered? Unless unless some really strange accident happens where you've got some really bad luck and you don't get to harvest crop. But it does happen quite a lot in FS22, and I think it's something that I would prefer if it just didn't happen. I mean, it can happen to the player because you've obviously done something wrong, fair play. But if we're trying to make the game more immersive and, feel like it's a living area and stuff, you're not going to see withered fields as much as we do. Anyway, a little moan there, but let's hope things like that happen. But yeah, going through the growth stages, growth stage 1. So that's probably going to be May, June, July, and then August here. And obviously after you've harvested in the withered state. So this is the first growth stage. This is after planting. I actually really like this crop. I didn't really recognise it as a row crop, but it certainly is a row crop. So I'd expect to use a planter for actually putting in the green beans. Now, I think, if I remember rightly, the peas was actually a seeder. So that's a little bit different. That texture as well, that soil texture, I really like the look of. A rich soil that's obviously got quite a lot of moisture in it. It does look quite... it's darker because I don't know if it's just had rain or something. I'm not sure. And you've got these 2 lines here as well. Is that a track from, maybe some soil deformation of some sorts? Maybe with narrow tyres? I don't know. But I do like the look of it. So we'll quickly just skip over to the next growth stage. So you can see it. Not much difference, obviously just growing a little bit. And then we go to this one, which is, when you start seeing them white flowers, because it's always nice, and it's something that Giants do actually say in the blog, and I agree with them, that eventually, if you're playing the game for thousands of hours, it's nice when you don't actually have to look at the growth calendar because you can just see the crop and you know what stage it's in visually. So, a tip for that would be, especially with the peas as well as the beans, look for the white flowers. As soon as you see that, the next stage is going to be ready to harvest. So there you go. That's the ready to harvest stage. Now, I've been looking at this for quite some time, and I have to say, I'm torn on this one. I don't actually know if that's... don't get me wrong, it's full, it looks good, but the green beans almost look, because you can see them dangling out here. If we kind of zoom in, that's green bean, you got that kind of reflection of it, but it almost looks like it's slime. I'm seeing here slimy, just like something that looks a bit slimy on the crop. Now, I don't know if that's just the lighting or something, but it's not too bad. What I do like about it is if you look at the leaves, especially this one here, you can see the change of the leaf. It's getting to the point where it needs to be chopped. It's starting to wither. The nitrogen's being drawn out. You can see that it's having that effect on the leaves. Almost looks like it's, just becoming damaged, if anything. But that's just because it's getting to that point where it's ready to harvest. So I do like that in the leaves, but I'm not 100% certain on the actual green beans and the way they look. Obviously, in game, it might look different. But I do have to say with that one, I'm not 100% convinced on that texture, whereas everything else has kind of looked really good. But it definitely looks very 2D. That there looks 2D. It could just be the angle, though. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, still like the crop, and I think it's going to be a good addition to the game. And there we go. We've got a final texture here of harvested. And you can also see that the soil texture underneath it has changed as well. So you've got a bit of stuff left over. It definitely looks like a row crop. And if we go to withered, I don't know if you want to see this, but there you go. With the withered texture. Brilliant. Hopefully no one gets to that point. So, the equipment, what we're going to be using to harvest the green beans is this bad boy. This is the BP 2140E, and this is just for green beans. It's not like we can use this for peas as well. We've got 3 separate machines we've seen from Oxbow now. One's for peas, one's for green beans, and one's for spinach as well. So, like I said, they've made a massive focus on it. There's not too much difference between them. If I lined them up if I lined them up together in the game, I think it'd take me quite some time to kind of see which one's which and just straight off. I think it'd take me, a few times using it at the very least to know that, that's the one for spinach. I think the spinach one looks the most different to the peas because it's got a different front end, if I remember. But the peas and the green bean ones do look alike. But I'm looking forward to it. They cost a lot of money, and I think that's the biggest problem. If there's someone that's starting, maybe start from scratch, not got much money in the game, a lot of people like to play like that, including myself. I don't want to just race into equipment like this. I want this to kind of be end game when I'm doing the most I can. I'd like to have a smaller starting point. And that's what I worry about. I'm worried about that spinach, peas, and green beans are going to be a crop that really aren't that friendly for starting from scratch. It's something you do end game, and you want to try the new crops out. But I imagine we can just try it out and then eventually move to that. But I'd like them just to bring in an alternative option to do it. We get small harvesters, we get, small potato equipment and stuff like that, and mods and so on, and sugar beets. It'd be nice if there's an option that we get to really go small and then really go big. I don't need like the middle ground. It would be obviously a bonus if we could get that. But personally, I just want to have that 2 option. Really starting off small, but still being able to do these crops. And then obviously building up to something big when you've obviously invested into that equipment. So just carrying on with the shots we've got of this machine. We're going to go and have a look at this on the Oxbow website in a second, but I just wanted to fly through these pictures. Textures of the dirt look pretty good. You can see some leaves just flying up there. Don't think that leave's actually stuck to the tire. I think it's just an animation of it flying up because you can see it here and in there. But the textures look pretty good. How they're building up around the arches of the harvester where the wheels are, which you'd expect probably to get dirty quickest. And again, I've been looking at characters and things like that. I think we've got new clothes, but I don't think we've got age-defying characters, which is what I've been looking for some time, but it doesn't look that way. But it's a nice piece of kit, and it obviously adds to the Oxbow collection that we're getting. And again, like the contrast in the harvest, just like we saw with the peas. I know people have been mentioning about straw for peas and stuff like that. We've heard nothing. I mean, it could be. I mean, we didn't actually see that texture, did we? If we just go back, because FSG did mention this, and he was bang on. I'm going to have to bring that picture up, so I'll just quickly bring it up now. Yeah, you can see that there's nothing like that on the ground. So, I don't know. It might be a thing that maybe, potentially, we can make straw. I don't know. But it doesn't look the same. It doesn't look anywhere near the same as what that harvester kind of leaves on the ground. We got this one now that's more zoomed in as well. So you can see that this section here, like obviously that section, this kind of middle bit, looks just like it. So same kind of soil texture. The crop that's been chopped looks the exact same. But this bit here with all these kind of leaves, that's disappeared. So I don't know if it's just because of the way Giants set up the pictures and the fields, because I know with easy dev and all that kind of stuff that you can do in FS22, you can just set you can just set that, and you can do console commands and all that kind of stuff. So they're probably doing something along them lines just to set these pictures up for the blog. But it'd be nice to think that that's not what's happened. I'm hopeful, put it that way, that we're going to be able to maybe make straw of some sorts from peas, because I know that's a thing, but you never know. Looking at that, is that the same? I don't know. I don't know enough about the crop itself to know if that's even a thing with green beans. So I'll keep flying through the pictures that we're getting. This is the tail end of this Oxbow now. There's not really too much difference standing out for me. I've looked at textures, soil textures. I think we've picked up everything, but this is pretty good. So you can see this field's ready to harvest, but you can see the animation now of how it's actually tipping out. So it's very similar, and that's a very, very bright yellow, vivid picture there. You can see the tip on it's pretty good. It obviously holds a lot, really useful to have, and it's the green beans are dropping out. We haven't got I don't think we get to see an actual image really of the fill type itself in the trailer, but you can see that it's you can definitely define that looks like a long green bean just being thrown in. I do like the look of that grass texture there though. It's a big improvement. And that's the last picture. So I think what we'll do now is we'll bring up the Oxbow website and we'll have a look at these 3 tools that we're going to get and compare them just whilst, in the real life versions, just so we kind of, remind ourselves these 3 pieces of equipment we're going to get with these 3 new crop types. So I'm on the Oxbow website right now. There's so many things to do. Blackberries, blueberries, Arabica, coffee, forage, grape. I mean, let's have a look at the forage. I didn't say I was going to do this, but basically trailers. So we've got trailers that we can put in, and it even says green bean as well. So we could use that for green beans. Probably not many holes in it. Olives, leafy greens. So is that grass? Is that just grass? I don't know. That does look like this one here. Yeah, that's the spinach one. That's the MBK. So you can see how that front end's completely different. So let's just go to green beans first, because that's the one on the list. You can obviously see some of the trailers we can get, a bigger trailer. But you've also got this tool here. So this is for sweet corn and then green bean. So potentially you could use that. That's just a smaller version of what we've seen, maybe a bit cheaper. So who knows? We could actually see that in FS25. You know, fingers crossed to get a smaller option. But then you got onto all these pieces of equipment, which again are massive. Now you got a biggest trailer, but look at this green bean. Look at the size of that for green bean. That'd be really good because you just hook it up to the back of the back of the tractor and kind of go through it. You've even got this one, the GB7 150, which looks a lot smaller than this one, which is the one we've just seen in game. So that's the big one. That's the massive tool that we're going to be getting for green beans. You can see out in the field there harvesting green beans. But there is some more options. It's not just that. And I do like that. Like the smaller ones, you know, I think it should be something that potentially we could see. Hopefully anyway. So let's go to peas. And you can see that this one here to the right is the one we're going to get. But again, there is a smaller option. But this one for the track, this EPD 540E is the one we've seen already for peas. So fingers crossed we get smaller versions of, you know, fingers crossed we get smaller versions. We even got potato ones. I don't know if we've seen a potato one in the game yet. I don't think we have. I think most of it's like Grimmy and other things, but we've not. Yeah, I don't think we've seen an Oxbow potato harvester unless I've just completely missed it, but I don't think so. So last one here is the spinach, and again there is just one option for spinach, and it's this thing which we've already seen quite a lot of. I bet it costs an arm and a leg. But it is nice to get the option to do these 3 new crops. I'm very happy with them to be added into FS25 and Farming Simulator. But I hope we get more options, tools. I think that's the only thing that I'd say now. I don't just want to be stuck with the high-end kind of equipment. I'd like to have a go at some small equipment, starting off points. So there we go, though. That's the update that we got from Giants in the latest blog that's just dropped from the final confirmed new crop type that we're going to be getting, which is green beans. So that brings out 5 new crops to add to the ones we've already got, including the ones we got in the premium expansion. So we're still going to have like parsnips and the other 2 that I've completely forgotten. Red beets and carrots. There we go. Finally got there in the end. So we're going to get all them and the ones we've got now in FS22, but then we're going to get long grain rice, which is technically like dry rice, and then we're going to have wet rice as well. And then we're having spinach, peas, and green beans. So I'm happy with that, and I think a lot of people will be happy with that. I think adding 5 new crop types in is a pretty decent thing. No complaints there from me. But thank you so much for watching. Keep an eye out on the video tomorrow. Dropping Fact Sheet Fridays. I keep coming out by Giants, and I'll make sure to do another quick video showing you guys everything we've learned. I mean, last time round, we got some really good stuff, so I'm looking forward to this one. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up for me because that helps my channel out. And if you're new to the channel as well, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.